Hey guys, it's Dean Manfly Yoga. Today I'm going to do a flow session. Not sure how long yet, maybe 30, 45, or 60 minutes. The point of the flow session today is going to be build up. So we're going to start with spine, work our way to the hips, quads, chest, everything out, working to the extremities, and then we'll go into the more complex poses, the standing poses, the balancing postures, and maybe some inversions. So we're going to start off today in cat-cow. So hands below shoulders, knees below hips. Just inhaling up, rounding the spine, arching the spine, bringing the butt up, bringing the chest up, and then exhaling, rounding the spine, bringing the middle of the back up, pressing into the hands, reaching the butt low, reaching the chest down, and then inhaling back up, bringing the shoulder blades toward the waistline, shifting your gaze up but not too high up, and then exhaling back down, inhaling back up, exhaling, and do 3 more rounds of these. So just on your own breath if you want. Point of this is to inhale until you can inhale no more, and then exhale everything out. Right now you want to be slowing down your breath. So getting into the right mindset for yoga, which is, of course, controlled breathing. It's all about the breath. Last one. And exhale. Come back to a neutral spine. Bring your right foot forward. So we're going to come into a low lunge. And bring your hand up on your thigh. Start to press into your thigh. Just very easy opening of the hip flexor right now. So we're not really pushing here too much. Static stretching is a bad thing, so we're not going to do that too much right now. This is just a little bit of warm up, right here. Start to angle your hips the right way, though. So you want to square your hips forward. So your right hip will come back. Your right hip comes back, and your left hip comes forward. You can also straighten your core a little bit here if you want. So bring your pelvis out and up. That engages your lower core, and then reach your arms up. Start to open up the back actively. And then you can press into your front foot here, raise the toes off the ground. That will start to engage your hamstring and your quad and your front leg. And then lower your hands down and reach your right hand straight up. Make sure that your hips don't change at all here. So if your hip starts to fade out like this, your knee starts to go out, take it back in. Make sure that your hips are still squared up toward the front. Your gaze is going to go to your right hand. So you're looking at it as you reach up and then lower it down. And then shift back into half split. Just an easy stretch for your hamstring right now. Don't press into your foot yet. Don't press into your heel. Again, we're just warming up, so you don't want to press too much right now. This is just shaking the kinks out. So you're going to get a stretch on the bottom of your right leg here. And then shift forward. And then root your back foot, press up. And we're going to stay here just to warm up the left leg, warm up the right leg still. So you're pressing into your heel here on your back foot, rooting in the ball of your back foot. Your leg is straight, so you've got an engaged leg here in the left leg. It's not weak. The knee is off the ground. We're going to lower the knee, lower the hands, bring the right foot back. So now you're in a plank position. And then we're going to lower down halfway. So my forearms are going to be perpendicular with the ground. My upper arms come to be parallel with the ground. And then I'm going to lower my knees, lower my chest, come to a baby cobra. So just peel my chest off the ground. The tops of my feet are pressing into the ground. So my knees are off the ground, the thighs are engaged. And then I lower down. And then I press back up into my my tabletop pose with my hands under my shoulders and my knees under my hips, hip width distance apart. And I'm going to step the left leg up. And now I'm going to come into a low lunge on the opposite side. So now I'm pulling my right hip forward, pulling my left hip back to square my hips up toward the front. Hand can be on the knees here, on the thigh if you want to press a little more here, or if you just want to stay here, relax and let this slowly open, let the hip flexors slowly open. That's a good idea too. Let's pull your pubic bone forward and up to engage the lower core. You're going to reach your butt toward the ground and then reach your arms up. So now we're working on having a straight spine. You're going to feel your hip flexor and your right engage a little bit more. You can lift your toes off the ground on your front foot and press into the ground with your left foot here. That'll help activate the quad and the hamstring in your left leg. And then keep reaching up, but not arching your back. You don't want to arch your back here like this. Your flexibility comes from you reaching your arms up and back to frame your head. And then lower your hands. Reach your left arm up. Look at your left hand. Look down at your left leg. Make sure that the knee isn't splaying out, that you've got a flat foot here, that your hips are staying in line. A few more seconds. Keep reaching, opening the back, reaching the crown of your head forward. Lower your hands to the mat. Root your back foot. And now we're in a low lunge with the back foot raised. You'll pull your right hip forward, pull your left hip back, press your right heel toward the ground, root through the ball of your foot. A few more breaths. And then lower the knee. Bring your left foot back. So now we're in high plank pose again. Bring your upper body forward so that your shoulders are just a little bit beyond your hands. And then lower down halfway, elbows squeezed in tight. Your arms don't pass 90-degree angle here, so you don't want your shoulders to be hunched over your body. They're still open up, still facing the ground, not hunched over, not looking under your body. And then you flip your feet. You can press into up dog here if you want, or you can do another baby cobra, where you lower down all the way to the mat. Press the tops of your feet into the ground, and then reach up with your chest. Your hands don't do anything here. This is all lower body strength. And then exhale. And let's press back into child's pose. So we're getting a really slow start to the day. This is not a very dynamic, not a very difficult start. We're going to build up a lot though. So child's pose, your feet or your knees are going to be mat width distance. Big toes meet at the back. Your hands reach out as far as they can forward. You let your forehead touch the mat, and then you press your hands into the mat to force your butt closer to your heels. You can also start to feel a bit of a stretch in your lats here from the side of your body. And then come forward. Root your back feet and come to down dog. So we're not warmed up all the way yet, so you can press lightly if you want. Start reaching your hips up and back. If that feels a little too much right now, then don't do it. Just do this lazy down dog. Static stretching is a bad thing, again, so don't do it. But if you're feeling loose enough, start pressing into your heels and reaching your hips up and back. And then I want you to bend your arms slightly and then straighten your arms to help engage your lats. So now that we're stretching, now you're stretching your lats as well, and your side body. Inhale your right leg up, and then bring your knee to your nose, rounding your back. Exhale, bring your right leg back up. Bring your knee to your elbow or tricep on the right side. Inhale up and back. Bring your knee to your opposite tricep or elbow. Make sure that your shoulders stay squared here though. You don't want to sink into your arm like this yet. Keep your shoulders squared up. Inhale back up. When you look up at your toe, make sure that the toes are facing the ground. So you're going to spin your inner thigh in to help that happen. And make sure that in your left leg, the rooted leg, you're pressing down into your heel and that you're reaching that hip up and back. And then bring your knee forward all the way up if you can. If you can't get it all the way up, so if you only land right here, for instance, just grab the back of it, walk it forward. And from here, we're going to create some separation between your chest and your thigh. So right here, you want to create some separation. Press into the back foot. Pull your right hip back. Pull your left hip forward. And then slowly reach your arms up into Crescent Warrior. So this hip pulls forward. The right hip pulls back. I'm reaching my core like 1.5 feet up. So I'm trying to touch this area with my pubic bone. So I'm reaching up and forward, and then my hands reach up, my biceps spray my ears, and I'm pressing down in my back foot. I take the toes off the ground in my front foot so that my quads and my hamstrings are engaged. If I just have my feet on the ground like this, only my quad engages. So in order to engage the hamstring, I lift the toes off the ground. So we're still here. Just keep breathing. That's the most important thing to remember. Just keep breathing, and the more in control your breathing is, the less your body reacts to it, the less your body thinks that you're in trouble. And then from here, we're going to bring our hands to prayer and come to airplane pose. So I'm reaching my chest forward, reaching the crown of my head forward, still pressing down on my back foot. I've got some separation between my thigh and my chest right here. And then I'm reaching back up. 5 more breaths here. Sink a little lower if you can. Lower your hands. Bring your front hand on the inside of your, let's see, that's your right foot. And then bring your right foot back. Now you've got your hand right in the middle, and we're setting up your side plank. So in the right hand, in the right arm, the elbow is slightly bent. My left arm is reaching straight up. My thighs, my hips are reaching off the ground. My ribs are spinning in, so I've got a nice engaged core. And then if you want, you can reach your left foot off the ground as well. Make it a little more difficult. And then lower your hand to the mat. Center yourself. So my hands are at either side. My feet are about 6 inches apart at the back of the mat. Pull my upper body forward. Lower down halfway. Inhale to an up dog or cobra. And then press back into down dog. Here you want to think about, there's another thing for down dog. You want to roll your triceps in so that your triceps are facing the back and your biceps start to face forward. And then you want to press down through your fingertips and your thumbs. And your back leg, you want to press your heels toward the mat, reach your hips up and back, and then you want to think about spinning your thighs inward. So I'm turning my legs inward, but my feet don't move. Take a few breaths here. Inhale your left leg up. Bring your left knee to nose. Inhale back up. Into the tricep. Rounding my back. Inhale back up. Knee to opposite elbow. So to my right elbow. Rounding the spine, lifting my knee higher. Inhaling back. Pressing down through my right heel. Squaring my hips. Turning my left hip inward, my left thigh inward, so that the toes face the ground. And then inhale my foot forward. And start to set up for Crescent Warrior. So my hands can come to either side of my foot in front. I start to reach my chest forward, reach the crown of my head forward, My knee is bent over my ankle, so I've got a 90-degree bend there. Pressing down hard through my back foot, rooting through the ball of my foot. This leg is strong and engaged. The knee is off the ground. And then I reach my arms forward, create some separation between my chest and my thigh. And then I reach my arms up, and I come to Crescent Warrior. I'm pressing down through my back foot, reaching up through my arms, pulling my right hip flexor forward, engaging my core. So imagine that I'm trying to touch this area 1.5 feet in front and up from my pubic bone. I'm reaching up. We're going to breathe here for a while. So keep pressing down through the back foot. Lower down a little bit if you want. Pull the right hip forward, the left hip comes back. Reach your left toes off the ground to engage the hamstring. Three more breaths. And if you notice there's a lack of music, that's on purpose. I want you to choose your own music. See what works for you, because not all music works for everybody. Some people like music, some people don't like music when they work out. So it differs. Then bring your arms to prayer. Reach your upper body forward. Palms come out to face, palms come along your sides and palms face down. Sorry, arms to side and palms facing down. Still got some separation here between my chest and my thigh. Reaching the crown of my head forward, pressing down hard through my back foot, and then inhaling back up, coming to Crescent Warrior again. Three more breaths. I'm lowering my hands, bringing my left hand to the inside of my left foot so that my left hand is in the middle of the mat. Then I bring my left foot back, stack my right foot on top of my left foot, reach my right arm up, so now I'm in side plank. Reaching my hips up, reaching my hands straight up, as high as possible. Keeping the micro bend in my left arm. Then lowering my right hand. Move my left hand back out to the side. Bring my upper body forward. Lower down halfway. Inhale to a Cobra. Sorry, inhale to up dog. And then exhale to down dog. Pressing down through my heels now, reaching up and back through my hips. Your legs should be warmed up after the Crescent Warrior series. Pressing down through my hands, pressing down through the fingertips, rolling my triceps back, so I'm turning my arms inward, and then pressing through my fingertips, pressing through, particularly through my index and my thumb. And we're going to bend our knees, look forward, jump forward, come to the top of the mat, landing lightly. Or if you want, you can just step up. Then we're going to inhale all the way up. Bring your arms overhead. Touch your hands. Bring your arms to prayer. We're going to do that 2 times. So inhale and breathe. Nope, there's a wall right there. And exhale. Inhale up. And exhale. Inhale back up. And then you're going to point your fingers straight up. You're going to reach up on an inhale, and then on an exhale, reach over to your left side. Press your right hips toward the right side. Keep your chin away from your chest. And start to stretch your side body here. Come back to middle. Reach up again on the inhale, and on the exhale, press your left hip toward the left side. Reach your right arms up and over your body. And then use your right hand to pull your left hand over. Come back to center. And from here, open your arms up and just slightly bend your lower back. Reach your arms out wide. Try to expose your chest to the sky. Don't bend your lower back too much. This isn't Bikram. We're not trying to invert ourselves right here. We're just opening up our chest. Getting a nice stretch for our lower back. Coming back up. And then folding forward, bending the knees, reaching down. And here I want you to spread your feet, grab your toes with your index and middle fingers, your big toes with your index and middle fingers. Pull down, use your bicep strength to pull your body, your upper body down toward your feet, and try and lift your hips up. So we're trying to straighten our legs here. Let your head hang loose. And keep pressing up. Keep trying to straighten your legs. Relax your head away from your shoulders if you can. A few more breaths. Release your arms. Bring your feet back together. Inhale all the way up very slowly. So let your head and your neck be the last thing to come up. Just one vertebrae by one vertebrae all the way up. And come to a mountain pose. And just take a couple breaths here to recover. Feel your body, feel how it's different from when we started. And hopefully you feel warmed up now. So from here, let's drop down straight to Warrior 2. So we're going to bring our hands to center, and you're going to drop your right foot back. I'm going to switch just for camera's sake. Dropping my right foot back, and I'm opening up into Warrior 2 now. So I'm going to square my hips toward the right side. I'm going to press down hard on my back foot. Turn the right foot in just a little bit. So bring, instead of it at a 90-degree angle, bring it in just a little bit, and then press down hard to the back foot. Open your hips up to the side wall. Bend into your front leg so you've got a 90-degree angle between, or 90-degree bend, knee over ankle, right here. And again, hips squared up to the side. Arms out. Spread your fingers. Look straight over your middle finger. Reach straight back through your right hand. And look down at your toes and your front foot, and if you can't see the big toe, you're going to want to open this hip up a little bit more. So you're going to want to force this knee toward the outside. We're going to stay here for a while, so get comfortable. Sink a little deeper. Make sure that if you have a mirror in front of you, make sure that you're not bending too far in either direction. So if you're pulling forward a little bit like this, pull your arm back. It's hard to tell without a mirror, but if you have a buddy, you have someone who can tell you, that'll help. Keep pressing down hard through the back foot with a straight leg. And if you have a mirror in front of you, try and minimize the surface area around your hips that you can see. So you want to try and hide your butt behind your front leg. And then the last touch, you can squeeze your heels toward one another. That'll help activate your glutes. They're going to move into side angle pose. So left elbow drops to the outside of my left knee. Reach my right hand straight up. Keep pressing down hard on my back foot. Create some separation between your left side body and your thigh so that your core is activated. And then reach up as high as you can through your right hand. And you're going to open your chest up toward the side. So I'm pushing my elbow into my knee to open my chest up toward the side. 5 breaths here. Revolve back to Warrior 2. Flip the palm and come back to Reverse Warrior. I'm pressing down through my front knee. So I'm keeping that bend there. I'm not coming up like this. I'm keeping the bend, pressing down through my back foot. Hand slides down my calf or my thigh, or it can reach around to your lower back. And then reach up and back through your left hand. So really stretching your side body here. 3 more breaths. And then windmill your arms down. Step your left foot back. Come to plank pose. We're going to hold a plank here. So press through your heels. And then imagine that you can scrunch your mat up or scrunch your towel up toward your heels. So you're going to pull the base of your palms back toward your heels to engage your core and reach the crown of your head forward. So keep vigorously pulling here. We're going to do this for 5 breaths. Really good for your core. Really helps to activate your core. Two more breaths. And then come back to down dog. So feet about 6 inches apart, hip width distance apart. Hands pressing into the ground, reaching my hips up and back. I'm turning my biceps out. So turning my arms out so that my triceps face back, my biceps face forward. Bend your knees, look forward, jump or step forward to the top of your mat. Inhale to a half lift. So your hamstrings should be pretty warm here by now. So a half lift, upper body parallel with the ground. Looking straight at the ground, not looking up like this. Neck in line with your back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Arms come above your head. Exhale, it's a prayer. Now we're going to go to the opposite side. So drop your left leg back, coming into Warrior 2. And again, instead of having just a 90-degree bend, 90-degree angle, so your foot's not facing directly to the side, you're going to turn it in just a little bit. And then you're going to bend into your front leg, 90-degree angle bend here, knee over the ankle. If that's too far, shorten your stance and then bend over. Hips are squared up toward the side. You need to be able to see your big toe around your knee here. So if you can't, bend it back and reach your arms up and look straight over your middle finger in your right hand. Sink down a little lower here. Press up into your toes so that you're sitting on your toes here, and then lower your heel down to the ground. That'll help open up. Also want to think about pulling your heels toward one another. That'll help bring your butt under your body, help engage your core, and help you get a better stretch, help engage your glutes as well. Again, we're going to stay here for a while, so get comfortable. Maybe you can close your eyes, work on your balance. If you work on, and if you close your eyes, I'm not going to get spiritual when you're here, but it does help you get more in touch with your body. It gives you more body control. So you can handle yourself in the dark. That was dirty. But if you can handle yourself in the dark when you can't see, or you can handle yourself when you're blind, that's a pretty cool thing. And that takes a lot of body control. So if you want to try that out, close your eyes here. Keep breathing. Try to get deeper into the pose. Then lower your hand. So I'm going to lower my elbow to the inside of my right knee, making sure I still have this 90-degree bend here, and reaching my left hand straight up, opening my chest up to the side, pressing down hard on my back foot still, so that not all the weight is in my front knee, my front thigh. Five more breaths here. Return to Warrior 2. Flip your right hand. Reach up and back with your right hand. Keep bending into your front knee. Press down hard into your back foot. And get the stretch in your right side. So you can also bring your hand to the back here. So your back foot, you don't want to sink in. You don't want your arch to be on the ground. You're going to be pressing into the outside of your back foot. 3 more breaths here. Come back to Warrior 2. Windmill your arms to the ground. Bring your right foot back. And again, we're going to do plank here. So spread your fingers wide so you have a big base here. Press your heels back. Pull your base of your hands toward your heels and bring your hips up a little higher and reach the crown of your head forward. So your body's telling you in opposite directions. It's going to lengthen your body, make it harder for your core. So you're doing 5 breaths here. In this very good plank position. And lower down, halfway, elbows in tight. You can also lower your knees if you want. Come to Cobra, or if you want, flip your feet, come into Up Dog. And press back into Down Dog. All right, so we should be pretty warmed up by now. Hips are probably very open. Your side body is open. Core's definitely been working a lot. So we should be ready to take on anything I throw at you, right? Right. Inhale your right leg up. Bring your left leg forward. Spin it back. Come into Warrior 2. So right back to where we were. Flip to Reverse Warrior. Change it up a little bit. Come into side angle. Come back to Warrior 2. And then come to, here we're going to come to Halfmoon. So reach your right arm forward. Come to balance on your right foot. You can use your right hand for support here. Straighten your right leg if you can. Stack your left hip on top of your right hip. Press the heel toward the back wall. Reach your left hand up. Feel the stretch in your right hamstring as you balance here. And then bring your knee in. We're going to come to Dancer Pose. So you're going to grab the, straighten up here. Grab the inside of your ankle. Reach your right hand up. Press back into your hand. Straighten your leg. Engage the bottom leg. So engage all the muscles in your right leg. Root down hard through the ground and reach your right hand up and forward, pressing back into your back hand. Keep your hips in line. 3 breaths. Come back to center. Bring your left leg up. So knee is at hip level. We're going to work on a little bit of flexibility here. So here I want you to inhale your arms up, round your back, reach your hands under your foot, grab the bottom of your foot, root down hard through your right foot, engage the quad in your right foot. So you've got a good base of support in your right foot, and then press your left foot out. Make sure that the toes are squeezing back toward you, that the heel's pressing out, and you're pulling your chest forward toward your toes. 5 breaths here. Lower your hands slowly. Lower your foot back slowly, in control if you can. And we're going to come back to Warrior 2 from here. Sorry if that was not clear. Going back slowly, going back in control, coming back to Warrior 2. Hands come back out. We're going to do that flow one more time. So reach back, reverse warrior. Come to side angle. Lower the hands down. Bring the right foot back. And again, plank. So 5 breaths here. Pull the hands back toward the heels. Press the heels toward the back. Reach the crown of your head forward. Exhale, press back to down dog. Same thing, opposite side. So now we're going to inhale the left leg up. Bring the left foot forward. Spin your back foot, coming into Warrior 2. So just where we were just before this, the good Warrior 2, knee over ankle, pressing down hard through the back foot, hips squared up toward the side, looking straight over the middle finger. Bring the hand back, come to reverse warrior, and then come to extended side angle. Come back to Warrior 2. Now we're going to come to half moon again on the left side now. So reach your hand forward, start to bend into your left knee, transfer the weight into your left leg, reach the right foot up, press the heel toward the back wall. If you want to look back here, make sure that your left heel is pointed toward your right heel so that it's in line. Might be a good idea. Some people have a tendency to reach their right heel out here, throws off your balance. So you want to make sure it's straight. You want to make sure that you're pressing your heel hard toward the back. Start to balance on your left hand if you can, and reach your right hand straight up. Stack your right hip on top of your left hip, so you're bringing your left hip under your right hip, opening up your chest toward the side. Keep it an active leg here in your left leg, so you need to engage those muscles. Don't just let your leg lock out. So your quads engaged. Then bend your left knee. Bring your right knee in. We're going to come to dancer pose now. So I'm reaching the left hand up, grabbing the inside of my ankle with my right hand, and then reaching my left hand forward, pressing back hard into my back foot, engaging my left leg. So the quads engaged in my left leg. Hips are squared up toward the front. Keep bending here, 5 more breaths. Bring the knee back, come back to center. Bring your right knee forward and through your body without it touching the ground. Reach your hands up over your head. Root down hard through your left foot. So you've got a good base. Reach your arms over your body to come to the bottom of your right foot. Straighten your left leg if you can. And if you don't want to do that yet, keep it bent. And then press into your hands. Press your heel toward the front. Reach your toes back toward you. And then straighten the left leg. Engage the quads so you don't have you have a strong leg in your left leg here, not weak. 5 breaths. Lower the back leg, come to a Warrior 2 again, slowly and as in control as possible. And one more time, come to reverse warrior. Extended side, side angle, not extended side angle. And then lower the hands. Bring the left foot back to meet the right foot. 5 breath plank here. Palms squeeze toward your heels. Heels press toward the back. Crown of the head reaches forward. Bring your hips up slightly. Three breaths. Lower down slowly, all the way to the mat. And then press back into child's pose. So take a few breaths in child's pose to recover. Knees mat width distance, toes touching at the back, hands reaching forward, pressing your fingers into the mat. And letting your breath return to normal. Breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. Three more breaths here. And then come back to down dog. So we've opened up a lot in the last 15 minutes or so. A lot of hip openers, a lot of difficult stuff, balancing. So we're going to work on just a little bit more before we go to our back. I want you to bend your knees, look forward, and jump so that your feet land to the outside of your hands. So we're in a squat pose here. And I want you to sit down low. Bring your knees in as much as you need. Bring your heels in as much as you need to do this. Press your elbows into your knees. Look straight forward. Try to raise the crown of your head up. And make sure that you're not falling in with your, falling in here onto the inside of your feet or bouncing on the outside of your foot. You want to be grounded here. So all 4 points of your foot, balls of your feet, and the heels of your feet are rooted on the ground. Reaching my head up, reaching my tailbone toward the ground. Feel that opening in my hip flexors. And we're going to go for some crow here. So lower your hands to the ground in front of you. Hike your knees up as high as you can toward your armpits. And then come to balance, if you can, right here, slowly transferring the weight into your hands, rooting down in your fingertips. Come up so that one foot is off the ground, and then slowly reach the other foot off the ground. And bring your feet together at the back. Squeeze your legs like crazy into your arms, and engage your core. So I'm squeezing my core so that a lot of the pressure is out of my upper body, and a lot of it's into my core and my legs now. And then lower back down. So maybe you didn't get it the first time. So let's try a second time. For you second timers, if you got the crow the first time, I'm going to show you a variation that you can work on. So again, getting your knees as close to your armpits as possible, rolling forward onto your hands, coming on your toes, slowly transferring the weight out of your heels, out of your toes into your hands, bringing your toes to touch the back. And then I want you to reach your right leg up and back. Keep your shoulders as they are, reaching up high, trying to create a straight line with your body from your head to your heel, and then bringing your right knee back in. And then trying the left side too. So reaching the left leg up and back, trying to create a line from your head to your heel. Squeezing your right knee in, bringing it back, coming down to squat, and then sitting down, rolling onto your back, and extending in opposite directions. So reaching my toes, reaching my heels toward the front, reaching my heels toward the back, or whichever way you ended up, just as long as you're reaching in opposite directions. So I'm stretching out my entire body now. This is also called the star stretch. From here, we're going to continue doing core. Whew. Can't believe I just said that. Anyways, bring your knees in so that your knees are over your hips and your shins are parallel with the ground. Bring your shoulders and your neck slightly off the ground. Core engages, so you want to press your lower back into the ground. There's no space here. If you have an arched back here, try and close it. You want to do that by pulling your pubic bone up, pulling your tailbone toward the front now. We're going to start by pressing our right leg out, bringing our body higher off the ground, upper body higher off the ground, twisting, reaching up a little higher, twisting back, bringing the right knee in, left knee out, twisting, coming back. Same thing, opposite side. We're going to do 5 to each side here. That's 2. We're going to start reaching the left arm back now, and the right arm back as well. Still keeping the shoulder off the ground, so keeping the neck and shoulder off the ground here still. Making it hard on the core. I think there's one more. And if there's not, well, there is now. And then bringing the knees in, rolling up. And if you want to get creative here, roll up, cross your legs, root your hands, shoot back into down dog. Bring your chest forward, lower your knees, lower your chest to the mat. And now time for some back strengtheners. So hands come under your shoulders. Tops of your feet are rooted into the ground, pressing into the ground so that your knees lift off the ground, your thighs are engaged. And then on an inhale, peel your body off the ground, upper body. Reaching the crown of your head forward. So instead of creating height, we're going to try and create length. So reaching the crown of my head forward, maybe using my hand strength here a little bit just to pull my upper body forward, but then releasing my arms once I've got that length. Keep breathing here. Come a little higher and lower down. Bring your right cheek to the mat, hands along your side. Breathe a little bit. Come back to center. Hands come back under your shoulders. Tops of the toes are rooted in the ground. Inhale up. Lower your shoulder blades so that they're closer to your waist. Bring your neck away from your shoulders, reaching your crown of your head forward, creating length. Again, arch your back a little bit more. Come a little bit higher. 5 more breaths. Two. Exhale all the way down. And then turn your left cheek toward the mat. Let your hands rest along their side. So we did core before this. We did core, a lot of core in standing postures. And now we're doing back. So we're creating balance between the core of your body. So we do a lot of stuff with abs. We also do a lot of stuff with your lower back. A lot of weightlifting programs, a lot of gym programs kind of neglect that. So that's where yoga is pretty cool. We're going to do one more Sorry, we're going to do 2 more back strengtheners, building up to, sorry, building up to both legs back. Bring both legs, so the same thing we were doing with dancer, but with both legs. And instead of balancing on your foot, you're balancing on the precarious position right above. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna do super yogi or Superman. Reach your arms out in front of you, reach your toes back. And in this, you want to create length. That is the main point of this pose. So reaching forward and reaching back. So let your head come to the ground, and on an inhale, you're going to come up. Reach everything forward, reach everything back. Reaching up as high as possible, creating as much length as possible. Creating a good arch in your spine. Keeping your neck in line with your back. 5 breaths. Keep breathing. Lower down. Right cheek to the mat. Hands along your side. Then you're going to bend your knees. Bring your knees close together, so about hip width distance, no more than that. Grab the outside of your feet, the outside of your ankles, or just above the ankles, just below. You're going to reach your chest forward, start to press into your hands, reach your upper body off the ground, keep pressing your feet back, try to get your hips higher, try to get your knees higher off the ground, keep pressing, open your shoulders up to the front, keep breathing, 5 breaths. And lower down. Press back into child's pose. Then come forward. You're probably pretty sore right now in your back, core, probably your whole body. So we're going to do a little bit of stretching now. That was it, guys. Now it's just the cool down phase. So we're going to start off with hips. So we're coming to down dog. Hips up and back. Bring your left foot forward. Lower the right knee. Left hip comes outside the left hand. And you're going to reach your chest forward, reach your head forward, create some length in your spine. And then you're going to slowly lower your forearms to the ground. If you can't lower your forearms to the ground, that's fine. As long as you're feeling the stretch in your hip flexor, then you're good. So really start to control your breathing here. And now just some kind of cool. So I want you to roll to the outside of your left foot, roll to the outside of your right foot, and then reach your left hand back. It's just a little bit of a different stretch for your hips here. Make sure you want to have this left foot strong though, so the toe is reaching back, heels pressing forward, and the foot's flexed. And come back. And then bring your left foot across your body. Lower the left knee toward the ground. Come into pigeon pose, or half pigeon. Bring your hands either side of your hips. Bring your chest up. And then walk your body forward, lowering your head to the ground, reaching your arms straight in front of you, reaching your right foot back. And we're going to do 10 breaths here. And with every breath, you want to sink into the mat a little bit more, so you're releasing all your tension right now. This should be a very passive pose. Don't hang on to anything here. Just let it all out. Let gravity do its thing and push your body toward the ground to get a deeper stretch in your glute. And bring your hands back, root your back foot, bring your left foot back, extend your left foot. So it was very compressed. So now we're going to shake it out just a little bit here. Lower the left leg. Press down through both balls of your feet. And then reach your right leg up and forward to the outside of your right hand. Lower the left knee. Reach the crown of your head forward. Reach your chest forward, opening up your chest toward the front, toward this area in front of you. And then lowering your forearm toward the ground, forearms toward the ground. And again, with every breath, letting it go a little bit more, a little bit more. You want to keep your knee in close to your shoulder here. You don't want it to splay out. You don't want your right foot to come off the ground. If you can't get your forearms to the ground, again, that's fine. The point of this is to stretch your hip flexor, and as long as you're feeling a stretch there, that's good. And you're going to let your right knee come out to the side now. So come onto the outside of your right foot. Make sure that the toe is flexed, so that that foot is flexed. The ball of your foot is pressing out this way, heels pressing out this way, and your toes are flexed back toward the side. And then reach your right arm around. And then you're going to also bring the outside of your left foot to the ground. And then come back around to center. Bring your right foot over to the left side. Lower your right knee toward the ground. And set up for half pigeon now. So reach back through your left foot. Bring your hands to either side of your hips. Walk your hands forward. Bring your chest forward. Lower your head to the ground. Reach your arms out and relax here. Let gravity do its thing. 10 breaths. Relax. Let all the tension out of your legs. And just breathe. Right? That's the cool thing about yoga. When you're working out, some of the poses, you're completely relaxed. You're not thinking about engaging your muscles. It hurts in a good way. It's not hurting. It's opening your body. You're stretching. And it's painful because maybe you're not used to it, or maybe you're getting to new limits, or you're pushing your limits. But, you know, you're not, it's a different kind of strength, right? And you bring your hands back up. root your back foot, bring your right foot up and back, stretch it out all the way, shake it out, release some tension, and then bring, oh, let's see, let's come to a seated position now. Let's do some work on our IT bands. So if you have a strap, grab it, and if you don't, that's fine. You can also just use a t-shirt, so grab either end of the t-shirt. If you have a strap, good idea, but if not, again, you don't need it. So you're going to lay down on your back, bend your right knee towards you, use the strap, put it on the bottom of your foot, extend the right foot and relax it. So entirely relaxed, or this IT band stretch won't work. Relax your foot so the knee's locked out, and then drape it over your body. Just transfer the grip to your left hand. Drape it over your body toward the left side. You want to be pulling the hip back toward you though. So you want to be able to keep your right shoulder on the ground, and then just relax. And you should feel very nice stretch from along the entire length of the outside of your right leg. And that is your IT band. Three more breaths. Come back up. And if you have room, let your right leg come out to the side now. And bring it back up. Bring your knee in. And we're going to switch sides. So now you're going to bring the strap over the bottom of your left foot. Reach your left arm out to the side so the forearm's going to touch, not the forearm, but make sure that your left shoulder stays on the ground. Lock out your left leg and drape it over the right side of your body. Completely relaxed. And again, 10 breaths here. And bring it back over. And bring it to the outside now. And back up. And bring it in. Release the leg. Lay it on your back if you want. Optional Savasana here. If you don't want to do the Savasana, that's fine. I'm not going to do one. I'm going to come up. I'm going to say, wow, that was a good workout. I'm glad I did it. I feel a lot better. I'm going to go into the day knowing that I did this awesome workout, that I stretched out all my muscles, that I did a bunch of stuff with balance, core strength, my back strength. I improved my back. I improved my posture. I opened up my shoulders. And that's enough for me. So I'll see you guys later. Manful out.